Hello everyone and welcome to Florida Tips for Brits. I'm your host Andrew.
And I'm Kirsty.
Welcome back. Today we're going to be continuing, welcome for the first time and welcoming people back. It's very presumptuous of me that, isn't it? Like people have been here before. You might be finding us for the first time. If you are, welcome. And for everybody who's seen us before or heard us before, thanks so much for coming back. Today we're going to be continuing our series of podcasts where we talk about our 10 favourite things from each of the Disney parks. Now, if you missed it last week, we did do Magic Kingdom, so you can always go back here on YouTube and check that out if you'd like to see what we thought the best thing about Magic Kingdom is. But today, we're going to be moving on to Epcot.
It's my favourite theme park.
Yes, this is Kirsty's personal favourite. Even though at the moment it's kind of a building site still. Truthfully, I can't wait for it to be finished, but there's still lots of really good stuff at Epcot, and it is certainly worth a visit if you've never been. So today we're going to be doing our top 10 things. Now, we did say in this one, I'll just tell you from my point of view, I've deliberately tried to not just do rides because obviously there are rides at Epcot. I have put some rides on my list, but I also said that it was okay to include things like food or restaurants and also like festivals, because Epcot, if you don't know, is like really kind of best known for having lots of festivals. They have loads of fun festivals throughout the year. So those can certainly be on the list. I've not seen Kirsty's list, and she hasn't seen mine, as far as I'm aware. My list, that is. And so, yeah. Would you like to kick things off, Kirsty, since this is your favourite theme park?
Yeah. So we're going from the number 10 down to number 1.
Yes.
So
one being best.
I mean, it's one of those Epcot, isn't it? Some people don't like it, and it's probably their least favourite, and then other people like myself, we just love it. I don't know. I think with me, it's the whole. There's a lot of nostalgia from when I used to go when I was younger, but I've just always enjoyed the kind of futuristic element of Epcot and the way it looks. So it's just that when you see that, Spaceship Earth. I was going to say the big golf ball, but I probably get.
We've been through this before.
Chastised for that.
People do not like it when you call it a golf ball, so
Yeah.
I call it a golf ball as often as possible.
Well, yeah, when you see that, when you're approaching the car park and you can see it in the distance, it's amazing. It's just a real sight to see. So
Park icon.
Yeah, and it's always been my favourite. I don't know why, but there's something about it I love. So anyway, going from number 10 in this particular park, I would say I've gone for a food kind of related.
You've gone for a food. I think this is the thing with Epcot. When you talk about some people not liking it and some people really liking it, I think you have to know what to expect when you go for an Epcot day. It's a very different day to a Magic Kingdom day. Magic Kingdom is very much like you go on the ride, you do the next ride, because there's tons of rides at Magic Kingdom. Epcot's got less rides, although it's got some absolute winners, and a couple are on my list. But what it has got is it's just got an abundance of like food and beverage options. So if you're a bit of a foodie, it's kind of great, isn't it? So I think there's certainly a couple of bits like that on my list as well. So what have you gone for?
It's a bit of a funny one, this, because I used to always like when it was the Electric Umbrella. That was the place we always used to eat. So it kind of became my favourite place. But now it's called Connections Cafe.
Yes.
And it's all different, of course. So it's but it's always kind of the place to eat for me personally when we go there.
Yeah, I think because I keep cutting you off. It's very rude of me. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I'll let you off.
You let me off. Just my 2 cents. It's because we've got children.
All they want to do is eat.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
And Connections Cafe has got a good range of stuff that they like to eat. Also, it doesn't hurt that it's got loads of like little charging spots for all your devices and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, it's just that place to go. Since everybody's talking about food, as soon as we get through the park, into the park, they're just like, what are we having for lunch? What time are we having lunch? So it's always the place we go. I have actually done a slash on this one because I was running out of space in my top 10. And I've put the Coca-Cola shop, which is what's it called?
Club Cool.
Club Cool. because you get to sample all the drinks as well, and the kids just want to do stuff like that as well. So I was a bit torn on that one.
So
which
you
to go
put
for.
2 in at number 10, basically.
Yeah. That's kind of the
That's
only...
the game. That's the game we're playing here,
Yeah,
is it?
that's the only kind of food element I've got in my list, though. So
I may have slightly cheated also on this list,
okay.
so I don't feel too bad about it.
But yeah, I couldn't really decide on this one. So I've gone for like the place we eat, and also the fact that they love Club Cool, and you can try all those yummy Coca-Cola flavors and some yucky ones. Yeah.
In some ways, it's the yucky ones that are the better ones, isn't it?
What was the one that everybody hates?
Beverly.
Beverly, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with the person, Beverly. I'm sure there's lovely Beverlys out there, but Beverly the drink, not great.
Yeah, there was one that I really loved, and I can't remember where it was from. Was it South Africa or somewhere?
They keep changing though.
Yeah,
don't
they do change, but there is some really interesting ones that
Interesting.
worth a try.
Interesting
Worth a try, yeah.
is right, for sure. Well, funnily enough, that brings us nicely on to my number 10, which was Club Cool.
Oh, right, okay.
It's one of my... it's a nothing thing, really, isn't it? It's a Coca-Cola sponsored shop, because they do sell... You can buy Coke products in there, but they've just got tons of dispensers, and you just get to try loads of fun drinks, and it's free. So at the end of the...
And it is cool.
And it is cool in there.
So Club Cool is cool.
The air conditioning be cranked to the max.
And if you're really thirsty because you've been out there in all that hot weather, it's just a perfect place to stop by.
Yeah. I'm just a little
Cool
bit
you
sad,
down.
like you say, some of the flavours that were there when it was the old Club Cool aren't there anymore, and some of them were pretty great. But there's still lots of fun ones. They kept Beverly, because I think they knew that everybody wanted to try Beverly because they'd heard how disgusting it was. But a lot of some of the other stuff didn't quite make it. But yeah, Club Cool's my number 10. I mean, it's free fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's free fun, so you know.
Whenever you can get some free fun, you're going to grab it.
You've got to grab it with both hands, free fun. Okay, do you want to...
I was going to say, should we take turns this week? We'll
go on,
switch it up.
Yeah,
because
you
otherwise I was getting a bit confused last week. So we'll take it in turns.
Okay.
So... Number 9, I have put Journey into Imagination. So this is actually an attraction.
Ooh.
And it's not right up there because I know it's probably quite old school and, it's been there a while. It has had a few changes over the years.
No wrong answers on this list, Kirsty.
No, but yeah, again, it's the nostalgia. Figment. He's a cute little character, a little dragon, purple dragon.
Very popular.
And he's kind of the symbol of Epcot, really, isn't he?
Yeah, I feel like Figment is the symbol of Epcot. If there was a character that summed it up, it's Figment.
I remember my sister buying one of the little plushies years ago, and it just reminds me of those family holidays we had all together.
Yeah.
And one of the first times we went, it was just, it was amazing. And I kind of like that ride. It's kind of fun as well. So yeah.
I don't hate it. I know a lot of people do actually hate it, but our kids, we said this in another podcast, but our kids really like it.
Yeah.
And it's never got much of a weight because a lot of people don't really like it. But that works for us.
Yeah.
Because we enjoy it. So, I mean,
I did hear a rumour that at one point anyway, and it's probably been shelved at the moment, but it was going to be turned into Inside Out.
Yes.
Themed, which I think would be great for that ride.
I think that was all but green lit, and then the Rona happened.
Yeah, so I think that would sit really well there. If they ever decided to turn that into something else, I think that would be a really good fit. So
I think also there was a bit of backlash though, because it would have meant getting rid of Figment.
Well, this is the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, they can kind of incorporate it as a park mascot though, can't they?
Yes, I'm sure they'd do something with Figment, because I think if they tried to get rid of it altogether...
Completely, yeah.
It'd be
a bad idea, I think. But I think I'm quite up for that if they decided to put Inside Out there, because I think it would be really interesting to see what they did with that space, yeah.
I think it'd work well with Epcot as well, because of that whole kind of science feeling, vibe that's going on.
I'd be happy to see that, definitely.
Yeah, I would as well. I think it'd be quite good. But yeah, for now, you've gone with Figment. Mm-hmm. Well, I have also gone for a ride at my number 9, and also maybe a bit of a lesser renowned ride, if you like.
I think I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
About Mexico.
Ooh, no. It's not. That might be on my list, though. I've gone with Nemo. I've gone with Finding Nemo.
You know what? I
Under the
forgot about
Sea.
Nemo.
I forgot about Journey into Imagination, so there we go. I'm not sure if it'd have made my top 10, but you can't go change. Don't go changing your list now. She's looking at a list thinking if she can shoe on Nemo on there. No, you got to stick with it.
I'm just thinking, would I have changed it? But I'm not sure if I would.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Doesn't matter. If it didn't come to mind, it probably isn't your favourite thing, is it? That's the truth.
Yeah.
It's like Journey into Imagination. Now you've mentioned it, I'm like, oh yeah, would I have put it on there? But I didn't even think about it, so it can't be.
And obviously, it's nostalgia that made it
pop out in your mind
for me. So yeah,
I really like the Nemo attraction. Yeah. I really like the Nemo attraction.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Very quick ride, but it's
yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know why I enjoy it so much. There's nothing really to it. It's a simple type of Omnimover kind of ride. In
a big blue
maybe
world.
That's it.
Yeah, that's in your head for the rest of the day.
Maybe
when you
that's
get on that ride.
I think I do know why. I think I do know why I like it. Air conditioning, amazing.
Yeah.
And I just find it very relaxing in there. I think that's what it is. And I think the fact that at the end of the ride, you get to see the awesome aquarium as well in the seas. Like, honest to goodness, you need to go and check that out.
The manatee is like...
It's tremendous in there. It's so good.
Oh, yeah, I love all that.
It's really good.
I mean, yeah, maybe it would have been on my list if I'd remembered, but obviously it didn't pop out.
Can't have been that important to you then.
No. But I know what was important.
Oh,
it was
segue.
Shopping, which is the Creation Shop.
Oh my God.
Previously Mouse Gear. I always loved going in the Mouse Gear shop.
Yes.
But yeah, just shopping. If you're a shopaholic like myself, you will appreciate a nice souvenir shop. And I still haven't got my Epcot cookie jar, which I really do want to get.
For those of you who are not aware, there is a cookie jar that's shaped like Spaceship Earth. And Kirsty, she wants it.
Yeah, I do really want it.
I want it.
It matched my kitchen. It's grey, and it just looked great. So yeah, that's one on my shopping list.
We don't need it. We
do. So yeah, I love shopping.
I don't think there's a lot more to say about that, is there really? You like shopping.
They tend to have a bit of everything in there, and it's kind of from all the theme parks really. They tend to have it's quite expansive, isn't it? You know, and it sells a bit of everything.
It does. Well, my number 8 is not a shop. I have gone for the Flower and Garden Festival. I've chosen a festival. Now, this could very easily have been the Food and Wine Festival for me because I likes me food and I've been known to drink a wine. But I went for Flower and Garden because Epcot looks brilliant during Flower and Garden.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
They do all the flower beds out around all the bodies of water, and it just looks tremendous.
Yeah, and those, how they do the characters out of the topiary. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do. See, the thing is now, I've got to be honest with you. Epcot's kind of blurring the lines now because you're right. Topiaries used to be for Flower and Garden, and food used to be for Food and Wine. But now you can kind of get a bit of both at both. Like if you go to Food and Wine, like right now, there are topiaries, lots of them. Whereas I don't believe it used to be that way. And if you go to a Flower and Garden festival, there are tons of food booths. So it's kind of like Food and Wine just basically runs for about half the year now, whereas it used to run for like 2 months or whatever. So I'm going to say Flower and Garden because you can still get some interesting foods during Flower and Garden, but also I think Epcot does, I don't think it ever looks as good as it does during Flower and Garden. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to behold and a lovely, relaxing vista. It's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful park. And when they eventually, and I cannot wait for this to happen, when all of the walls eventually disappear, I'm hoping we'll get to see more of it because It's been Walcott for kind of a long time now.
Yeah, they need to speed that up a bit, don't
Yeah, I
they?
mean, they had COVID.
Yeah.
We know that. COVID was there, and that definitely slowed things down a bit. But let's be honest, Florida kind of observed COVID restrictions for about 3 weeks, and then they just got on with things. So, come on, Disney.
Yeah.
Get the overtime in, and we can get this show on the road.
Right. So, I go?
Yes.
Yeah. I forgot where I'm up to again. So the one I've gone for the next is, I've kind of gone a bit general here.
Okay.
And I've gone for the World Showcase.
I was going to say that, and then I've gone a bit more specific.
Yeah, I've done a general thing because, I'll be honest, I don't spend loads of time in each country when I walk around. We tend to kind of...
It's criminal, really, because when you go a bit further back in
Yeah.
them pavilions, they're amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's just because I've probably done it quite a few times, but I always like to walk around and see everything and see what's going on in each pavilion. But it's just a great thing, and you get that kind of sense of different countries as you walk around and get to experience like different things. And it's the thing you've got to do when you're at Epcot, isn't it? Just
For sure.
yeah, no matter how much time you spend at each place, even if you just like say walking round, there's always things to see at each place. So there's always something going on. So I think it's got to be done.
Yeah, the World Showcase is great, but I did go more specific for my choices rather than just saying that. My number 7, I've gone with another ride, and I have gone with Soaring as my number 7.
Amazing ride, one of my favourites.
I like Soaring. I think it got a bit of I don't know. I feel like some people don't like it, and I don't know why. It's kind of, it's just the right amount of thrilling that like it's not bored. You know what I mean? It's like it's visually it's stunning because that screen is so huge.
Yeah.
You get that little bit of a thrill at the start when it kind of hoists you into the air, and then again at the end when it kind of drops you back down. That's kind of fun.
You realise at that point how high you were, don't
Yeah,
you?
you're pretty high. The screen's massive. The music's just like, again, iconic, nostalgic, call it what you want.
It smells
it
as
sticks in
well.
my head. You got great smells in there. It's just a good ride. What I like about Soaring is, as again, coming from somebody who's got children, it does have a height requirement, but it's not that much. So even relatively small kiddos can ride it, and it's not so terrifying that they're just never going to want to, be kind of emotionally scarred and never want to go on a ride ever again. Do you know what I mean? But it's still kind of thrilling for them. I just think it's a really good ride.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've put it at number 7.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's a great ride. Yeah. So my number 6 for this one is going to be the Ratatouille ride, the new one. So it's kind of bringing something a bit different because there isn't a whole lot of attractions, I don't think, around the World Showcase. Like I'm talking about like rides. So it's bringing that another element because obviously you've got Frozen around there in Norway. But yeah, it's in France. So the Ratatouille ride, and it's kind of newer technology as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it just gives another option for an attraction there because
Yeah, I mean, it's a track that we've never been to Disneyland Paris. Now, I know a lot of people who have been to Disneyland Paris. They got Ratatouille several years before Epcot did. And they're obviously just like, oh, it's just like the one in Paris. But, not everybody's been to Paris.
No.
And it is a fun ride, yeah.
Yeah.
It is a fun
I
ride.
like that.
I think it gets a bit of hate as well. I think it's because, because Disney have kind of done this a lot now where they take the same ride and they just kind of clone it in theme parks all around the world. For some reason, people are not enjoying that. But that's assuming that people can get, not everybody's been to Shanghai or Paris.
Yeah.
So I don't really get that hate. It's not on my list, I'll be honest.
But
it's a perfectly enjoyable ride.
Yeah, and it, like I say, it just adds another element of an attraction because, like I say, there isn't too many of them round the lake, So yeah, definitely,
for sure.
It's a good ride.
Well, my number 6, I'll be interested to see if this is on your list as well. I have gone with I've cheated a bit here. This is where I've done that kind of slash thing that you did earlier. I've gone with the Voices of Liberty.
Oh, I forgot this.
And the America Pavilion.
Why have I not got this on my list?
I can't believe you've not put this on your list. You're the person who started.
I never drag everybody to the Voices of Liberty every time.
I never wanted to see the Voices of Liberty. Kirsty would say, "We need to go and watch the Voices of Liberty," and I'd be like, "Why?"
I'm really disappointed this isn't on my list.
Yeah.
I might just scrub out.
No, you can't.
Ratatouille and put.
No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. You can't do it. The rule stands. That's it now. Set in stone. They're the 10 things you can do every time you go.
I don't know why it didn't pop into my head because it's me that drags everyone there. To
it really is as well. I can't believe that's not on your list.
And again, a bit of nostalgia because I did it with my parents as well, and they loved it. And yeah, I've always enjoyed doing that.
For anybody listening or watching this on YouTube, who doesn't know what the Voices of Liberty are, they are an a cappella group that perform inside of the America Pavilion at World Showcase at certain times during the day, and they are amazing.
I'm really upset now.
I've wounded you
I'm
with that
upset
one,
because I've not even thought about putting the American Adventure on there, and that is like one of my ultimate favourite things.
I haven't put the American Adventure, which funnily enough is the thing that's in that pavilion. But the pavilion itself is tremendous. Miss it at your peril, right? Because if you are at all into like history, I've seen they it's not there now, I don't think, but they've certainly had it in the past, like Abraham Lincoln's hat.
Yeah, I love
things like that.
Yeah.
And they're just right there, just nestled in this like bit of a pavilion that nobody ever goes and see. You know what I mean? Like, it's criminal, really.
Yeah, I mean,
people go in, they do the American Adventure, they go like, "Oh, it was okay, it didn't go upside down." You know, everybody has a moan. But then you've got the Voices of Liberty who just smash it out of the park. Like, they're like world-class vocalists, okay? I mean, at Christmas, they're great as well. Really good. They do Christmas songs.
Acoustics. Ooh, got my camera then. My microphone.
That's a microphone, that one, Kirsty.
See, this has got me all
See, I've upset you. I've upset the apple cart with that one.
Yeah, the acoustics in the building as well, it just makes it even more.
Yeah, they sing, it's got a
amazing
dome at the top and they sing underneath, so the acoustics are on point, and it's just...
Yeah.
If you like, even if you're not like, you know, they come out in like old timey outfits and stuff in keeping with the colonial period and what have you. Like, it doesn't matter. They're just great. And at Christmas, they do Christmas songs, which are just fantastic. Yeah. But the actual pavilion itself is aces. If you're into like last time, well, not last time we were there, but I can't remember one time. I've seen the Abraham Lincoln stuff. We saw like Abe Lincoln's like stovetop hat and all that. Like, what do they call it? They call it a stovetop.
Yeah, I can't remember.
You know what I mean? The hat you used to wear. Anyway, Abe Lincoln's
like a top hat, isn't it?
Yeah, Abe Lincoln's hat and cane. And like, you know, that's Abraham Lincoln's actual hat. It was on his bonce at one point.
They often have a lot of other like history exhibitions, don't they, in there as well? So they
Native American stuff, and like proper Native American stuff as well, like flipping tomahawk axes and, you know, rugs and stuff that they've been just really like amazing stuff, and it's just right there, just hanging out. Nobody's going to see it. It's amazing. I love it.
And the American Adventure, I love the music in that as well. There's a lot of animatronics in that as well, and like you say, it's a lot about the history. And again, though, the music, it just takes me right back. And you know, I love the music. We used to have
few people in the American Adventure that they tried to claim are American because they had like distant relatives who were American. I'll just warn you that, like Winston Churchill.
Didn't they take all that out, didn't they? Or maybe not. I don't know.
I can't remember. Do you know what? To be truthful, it's a little while since I've been and watched it. But last time I watched it, I came out going like, "Hold on a minute, Winston Churchill? Is there a more British person?" I mean, I know he's like
Diana was in it as
well. Princess Diana, Winston Churchill, Albert Einstein, and America's like, they're ours. I'm not sure they're yours, America.
Well, anyway, well, whatever. If you're going to let that go, let that slide.
Don't know about that.
I really enjoy the music, and I think it's great. I mean, some of the kids might find it boring, but for me, I actually really enjoy that.
By the way, I am aware that those people had American relatives.
Yeah,
I understand, but I think it's a bit of a reach.
But anyway, yeah, I would have scrubbed out Ratatouille and put that in there.
Well, you didn't.
I would have done like
no.
The American Adventure /
You didn't do
Voices
it.
of Liberty.
You didn't do it. Go
Or
on
I
then.
should have
Watch your
put that in the
number.
Will Showcase.
Go on. Watch your
shouldn't I?
number 5. Go on. Watch your number 5 then.
My number 5 is Frozen Ride because it's a really good ride. It's
I was going to put this on my list just because it's one of my most watched videos on the Fun Florida Attractions channel.
yeah. The Frozen Ride, of course, it's in Norway, but it used to be the what did it used to be called?
You forgot this last week as well. Maelstrom.
Maelstrom. I always forget
You got
the
there
name
in
of
the
it.
end last week, but I can't wait for it again this
Yeah,
week.
Maelstrom. So I really liked the Maelstrom ride when that was there. But
It's the same ride,
It's the same
isn't it?
ride, basically done. It's been done out as Frozen.
Yes.
Well, I think when you have got the whole Let It Go, song and Elsa singing from the balcony, and it's just amazing. I think they've done it really well.
I think if you take your kind of I'm still pissed off about Maelstrom hat off for a minute, and you just have to admit that actually it's pretty good. You know what I mean? Let's face it, Maelstrom was the same ride. It just had more traditional Norwegian theming. They brought it up to date. You're going to do it, with such a successful IP like Frozen. They'd have been idiots not to do it, wouldn't they? Really, So
Yeah.
I agree with you. It hasn't made my list, but I actually do quite like it as well.
Yeah, and the queue. I mean, the line for that is a bit frustrating. I'll be honest, because if you go on the standby line, it takes forever.
It's them
Like it
lightning
really
lanes.
is forever. So I did
First
get a
time
bit
in for-
frustrated with that, but anyway. But once you're on the ride, it's done really well. I like it, and of course you get to see Olaf and experience all those Frozen songs that we love again.
Again, the kiddos love it, don't they?
Yeah, great one for them,
Oh.
especially in that park because there isn't a whole lot for younger kids, is there?
I mean, I feel like that's this is the argument, isn't it? Really, because people don't like it because like what's going on with Epcot right now is it's undergoing a lot of renovations, and a lot of those renovations involve kind of bringing more kind of popular intellectual properties like into Epcot. So Frozen was the beginning of that, really.
Then they were talking about Moana, weren't they?
Well, the Moana Journey of Water is due to open any second now.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that was.
You didn't even know it was a thing?
No, I knew it was. This was all obviously before COVID, though. So
Yeah.
we saw the.
We went to the Experience Centre,
Yeah.
which was mint, by the way. It was so good.
Oh, that was excellent.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was like a ride
Unfortunately,
in
most
itself.
stuff I understand why you're thinking that. Most stuff that they talked about in that Experience Centre got shelved because Chapek came in. This is Bob Chapek, and just stopped all the spending at the theme park. So there was going to be a Mary Poppins ride put
that
in
looked good as well.
Cherry Tree Lane in the UK Pavilion, scrapped, or at least on hold. There was supposed to be a festival centre in the middle, which was the whole point of taking out the giant fountain, don't get me started, the amazing Fountain of Nations, which they've ripped out because they were like, we're going to build this fabulous festival centre. Nope, nothing going there now. It's just, that guy.
Yeah, he ruined a few
I
things.
slap his bald head.
But yeah, it's Forgot what I was talking
Sorry, I
about.
went off on a bit of a tangent
forgot what I
about
was talking
slapping
about.
Bob Chapek. Right, number 5, I'm just going to move it along. Number 5, I'm staying in America, and I've gone for food. I'm going for the Regal Eagle Smokehouse because you can't whack a bit of barbecue. Now, this used to be a kind of generic counter service restaurant. So, you know the deal. Chicken tenders, bacon cheeseburger, kids meals, kids tenders, mac and cheese, stuff like that. Then they shut it and they rebuilt it as like, they didn't rebuild it, the building's still the same, but it's now like a genuine bona fide, like actually decent barbecue restaurant. So you can still, and by the way, the mac and cheese there is lovely. So if you do like a macaroni cheese, you can get it there. I think it's like $4.99. It's classed as a side or something. It's delicious, but you can get everything there: brisket, ribs. You can still get burgers and stuff, but the barbecue stuff there is tremendous. So if you're after a bit of barbecue, if that's your jam, Regal Eagle.
Yeah.
It's on the list. Delicious food. You got to eat.
Yeah,
Got 8, haven't
definitely. Yeah. So moving on to my number 4, I've gone for the Epcot Forever fireworks because...
Interesting. Now, I'm going to interject because this is also my number 4.
Oh, right, okay. So we may as well do it in one go.
We might as well do this together. We agreed on this one.
Yeah, number 4. So, yeah, I mean, everyone loves a fireworks show, don't they?
We like a fireworks show, yeah.
But, yeah, and it's just so... I mean, I've loved different ones over the years, I'll be honest. I really like the one where, you know, they had the floating globe on... Illuminations, you know the names for them all, I forget.
Reflections of Earth.
Yeah, I really like that one. I just love the music. I love the fact they had the floating globe and different things like that.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was one of my favourites. But, yeah, I think when you incorporate them with the... you know, with SpaceShip Earth and seeing all the fireworks around it, it's just a sight to be seen, isn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fireworks, it's my number 4 on the list as well because I do like a firework.
Yeah.
I do like a firework. And Epcot doesn't quite, I don't think, get the love that it deserves when it comes to fireworks. It's infinitely easier to get a good viewing experience at Epcot Forever or whatever than it... That rhymed.
We have a little spot where we go to. In...
Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. All the people will be there.
At the Tiki Post.
All the people. No
one knows where the Tiki Post is.
By the way, this would be a good point to mention. We didn't quite get to 30 likes on the last podcast, so I don't have to do my wildest ride in the wilderness.
How many likes did you get?
I don't know. It wasn't 30.
Right. Okay. Well,
if it gets to 30 retrospectively, I'll come back and do it. I'll come back and do it retrospectively. But anyway,
the wildest ride in the wilderness.
I digress. But the fireworks are actually pretty good. Now, Harmonious went in for the 50th anniversary, and there was a big to do over Harmonious. I think mainly because the barges, or the Stargate, as it became known, just looked kind of ridiculous on the Seven Seas Lagoon there, or whatever it's called. Is it the Seven Seas Lagoon? I'm thinking of the one near Magic Kingdom. I can't remember what it's called. World Showcase Lagoon, let's just call it that. It kind of made it look terrible. It ruined all the sightlines and everything. They're all gone now. All the tacos and all the Stargates and stuff, they've all gone. Yeah, but the fireworks at Epcot are actually really good. Epcot Forever, which is on now, which it always makes me laugh because it's only ever been like a temporary show. They called it Epcot Forever, and then they replaced it with Harmonious, and then they brought it back only to, it's going to be replaced again by a new upcoming fireworks show. I don't think that's got a name yet, but Epcot Forever is actually pretty good. It's got a lot of nostalgia in there if you've been going to Disney for a really long time. The sound that accompanies it, the music, and there's like narration over the top, which is like from really old attractions from around Epcot, and it's just really good. There's more fireworks in it as well than there were in like Illuminations, I think. Although don't fact check me on that because I actually don't know. It feels like there's more fireworks, which I like.
The ride I used to love in Epcot was Horizons. That was one of my all-time favourites.
Well, that's on there.
Oh, is it?
That's it.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah. There's a bit from Horizons on there. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's stuff like that. Like I used to like World of Motion. World of Motion.
World in Motion.
World in Motion. One of them's a song, and one of them's what the pavilion was actually called.
Yeah, and they used to have the Body Works, didn't they?
Not Bath and Body Works.
Although I do love Bath and Body Works, that would be number one on my list.
Don't start with
that. The shopping again.
There's a Bath and Body Works in there. It's number 1.
Is it the Body Works or something?
There was a ride called Body Wars.
Body Wars.
Yes, which was in the Wonders of Life Pavilion, it was called. The pavilion's still there, and it was due to be repurposed as like a huge, like fancy indoor play area for kids. And then the you know what happened? Bob Chapek came and he just
apparently
swung
they've still got all the stuff there, haven't they? From the body.
Yes, somebody did actually steal the animatronic from inside it.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a whole thing. Yeah. Someone stole it because it's worth like $5 million.
But that'd take me right back going in there.
Yeah.
It's like
I'd love to go back in. I used to go in there all the time.
Yeah.
Wonders of Life Pavilion. It was brilliant. And it just sits there now at Epcot, empty. Well, not empty. It's literally, I've seen inside it, and it's exactly like you remember it. like you're remembering it now, Kirsty, in your head, that vision you've got of it, what it looks like inside. That's what it looks like inside. The menus are still up. So, you know, like you go and get a burger or something when it used to be like $7.99 for a burger. And now it's like up $114 or something.
It's like the Odyssey restaurant as well. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Odyssey used to have a show in there. Do you remember? We're going completely off the rails now, by the way, completely. But the Odyssey restaurant, which is now, it's where the experience centre was, and now it's back to being like a restaurant again, kinda. It was closed for years and years, and it just got stuck in time, didn't it? It still had like the brown kind of sign on the outside and stuff. But they used to have a show in there, didn't they? Do you remember Mickey and Goofy and that used to come out wearing spacesuits and stuff and do like a bit of a jig? I don't know. They used to do stuff in there. It was meant. I've completely lost track of where we're up to.
Yeah.
By the way, number 3. I think we're on 3.
Yeah, I'm going down to number 3 now, and I've actually spelt it wrong. I put Soarin' on my list at number 3, but I put Sauron. So
Sauron.
Sauron.
Lord of the Rings.
Sauron. So anyway, but yeah, I really like Soarin'. My top 10 list might have been a bit different if I'd remembered certain things.
You're still sore about that voices a little bit, aren't you?
And the American Adventure. But yeah, I love Soarin'. It's changed. It changed, didn't it? Because it was different at one point.
Yes. It used to be Soaring Over California, now it's Soaring Over. Well, they used to be called Soaring Over California in California, but it was just always called Soaring in Orlando.
But then they changed the film, didn't they?
Yes.
And I think with Soaring', it's one of those things. I always like to get in a certain spot on that ride. I always like to get in the middle concourse.
Yes.
If you can get, they have different concourses. How many? They have 3 now, don't they?
They have A, B, and C now, yeah.
But if you can get in the middle of the concourse, so
whichever one you're in, basically.
Yeah. So if you've got like, was it A, B, and C? Is it?
I can't remember if it's A, B, C, 1, 2, or 3. But you want the middle one.
Yeah.
You want the
middle one, but also then to get the middle row. So of that section, if that makes any sense.
The middle of the middle, if you like.
Yeah. So you can get in the middle and then the middle again. You've got the best seat in the house, basically.
More chance of winning the lottery.
Yeah, you've got, I mean, it's happened, we've done it a few times, but if you can get in that row, it just gives you the best. I think everything just looks the best from that point.
No, it does.
You don't see any really edges of the screen, and you don't, you always see obviously in the middle, you can see people's feet dangling down from the top level, but it doesn't really interfere with the enjoyment. But it's just, I always...
Depends whose feet are dangling down on it. Really.
Well, yeah. I always have like my fingers crossed that we get in the middle.
My feet were dangling down. People might be like,
in the middle. Yeah. Well, that might be true. Yeah.
Sure about this.
So yeah, if I can get that seat, I'm really like chuffed, basically. But yeah, I love that ride. I just think I love the smells. I love the oranges, and I love it when you get like the elephants like kicking the dirt back up at you, and you get that smell of the beach. Love it all. I do.
You love it.
Oh, and the eagle. When the eagle, it always makes you jump.
Yeah.
And you jump. But you know it's coming, but you still jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you love it 4 more places than I do, because you put it at 3 and I put it at 7. Well, my number 3 is, and I've cheated again a little bit, the Mexico Pavilion.
Yeah. I've not even got this on my top 10.
At World Showcase. Well, you said World Showcase, you see. This is why I went a bit more specific.
So maybe I could put the American Adventure in that and Voice of Liberty.
You could do, I suppose.
I should have put it there.
I've gone with the Mexico area. I said pavilion, but I mean the whole area, really. Because mariachi are tremendous. Mariachi Cobra, I think they're called, the group who
it really gives you the
all
feeling
the
of being
vibes,
in Mexico.
all the vibes. They're fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic. That's outside the actual pavilion itself. I think the pavilion is impressive to look at as well, because they've done it like a temple or a pyramid type situation. Then you go inside to be greeted by traditional Mexican kind of fair at
it's like a market,
like an indoor market, but it's done like it's at night time. So coming out of that Florida heat into that broad daylight to darkness and cool because of the air conditioning, it's great.
Yeah, it really does feel like night time in there as well, doesn't it?
Really good. Also, there's a boat ride which often doesn't have much of a wait, which is, again, it's a bit like It's a Small World, but Mexico themed, a bit more, it's shorter, and in my opinion, probably a bit better than It's a Small World. But I really like the Mexico boat ride. Also, if you like tequila, it's Mexico, in it. There's plenty of opportunities to get a tequila. Personally, I don't care for a tequila, but I know a lot of people who do. And there's some really great tequilas in there, I've heard.
And also, you've got the Coco stuff in there as well, haven't you, from the movie Coco?
Yeah.
And again, something talked about maybe changing that whole theming of the ride to Coco, which would fit really well in there.
Yeah, there was certainly a lot of talk about that, but again, nothing confirmed at this point.
It certainly would. I think it would fit really well, and it'd be great. It'd be a great theme for that ride. I like the restaurant as well in there. You know, as you go up.
Yeah, San Angelin or San Angelin.
I've never ate there, but it looks nice.
Apparently, it's not that good.
All right, okay. It just looks nice because it's nighttime.
I've heard people say for ambience, 10 out of 10, but food like 5. Out of 10, okay. Not great, and because it's not cheap either. It's not like it's a proper sit down. So I love Mexican food, but I've heard there are much better places to get it than there.
One thing I've missed off my list. I was just thinking about it. The song was going around my head. I wouldn't particularly put it in my top 10, but Living with the Land.
See, I thought about Living with the Land.
Yeah.
I did think about it. But is it top 10 really
no, it's not
when
really
there's other things?
Yeah.
This is not to say, right.
So many good things.
This disclaimer, perhaps should have done this at the start. This is not to say that these are the things that you must do when you go. These are the things that we really these are my personal favourites.
Yeah.
And the way I did it.
For whatever reason, isn't it? Could be nostalgia or anything.
The way I did it was like, did it come into my head? And my number, this one, and my number one were literally the first two things that I thought of when I thought of Epcot. So I think of the Mexico Pavilion area, and I think of what my number one is, and I'm not going to say it just now because I'll be spoiling it.
Living with the land, living with the land. Remember that song going around your head over and over and over and over and over
I'd rather
again?
not, honestly.
So
Go on,
my number two is the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which I think is...
Oh, snap. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So I think the next two are going to be...
They're probably going to be the same,
exactly the same, yeah. It's a brilliant new ride, themed like the movie, and it's a wow one, isn't it?
Yeah, I've not put this as number one because this isn't just purely a rides list. I think if it was down to rides, this is probably the best ride.
Would you? I mean,
at Epcot for sure.
Do you think it's the best ride ever?
That's a lot to be considering. I'm not ready to make a commitment on that just now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make a commitment on that. It's very good. It's very good is what I will say to you. Unless you've got motion sickness, in which case it can be very bad. Got so bad that they actually started hanging out like sick bags at the end. I'm fine with it. I don't know anybody who's gotten sick on it, but apparently people did get sick on it.
It's like Mission Space, though, obviously.
Yeah, Mission Space.
I know they did kind of like...
there's sick bags on the ride of Mission Space.
But, they gave you the option in the end, didn't they? Because it was always you had to experience the whole thing initially. But then they gave you the...
Now there's orange side and green side.
Yeah, so you get the kind of tame version and then the really kind of...
They are unique rides as well, though. I think it's a really long time. We don't usually ride that, do we? Because the kids do not like it. So
yeah, but I used to like Mission Space, actually. But then it always makes you feel a bit funny when you come off it. So
real G-force, isn't it?
It's a real
centrifuge.
But I mean, Guardians, it's a great ride. And what more can you say?
It's just a great ride. The soundtrack's amazing. So we talked about this on our favourite rides as well. The soundtrack for Guardians of the Galaxy is fantastic. There are 7 different tracks you can get.
That whole 80s vibe. I mean, I love the 80s. So
I don't think you can beat. I think of all the tracks, Conga is the best one by. I said it was by Gloria Estefan previously. I'm going to correct myself now. It was Miami Sound Machine, which Gloria Estefan was the vocalist with. But it's so good. Yeah. It's so good. Don't get me wrong, the music is not make or break, but I just really like it when you get Conga. It's so good.
Definitely,
so good. Yeah. That reverse launch is just epic as well.
I think we'll say this in unison because I think we both know it's number one. But our number one is Spaceship Earth. Yeah. I mean,
we genuinely haven't done this together either. We did it completely separately. We haven't seen it.
I mean, it's just
both.
Everything. It's everything Epcot in that ride, isn't it?
Yes. Now, when I said Spaceship Earth, I mean specifically just the beholding of Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of meant the ride, the look of it, everything.
Yes,
it's everything.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I just, yes. No, I would agree with you. The first thing that, obviously, I think when you say Epcot, the first thing that pops into your mind is Spaceship Earth. And then, so it's got to be number one, hasn't it? It's my favourite thing. I love the way it looks. I love the ride inside it. It smells kind of funky sometimes, but I kind of like that as well. It's a bit like the Pirates of the Caribbean smell. Mm. Something comforting about it, even though it's a little bit weird.
And it's the whole nostalgia. It's been there for years, hasn't it?
The way they've done it recently, I didn't think they could make it look better than it used to when they used to shine the kind of purpley lights on it at the end of the evening. It used to look so cool. And I'm like, how are they going to top this? And then they put all those LEDs all over it. And now you can just do like whole shows on it and stuff as well. It's brilliant and it's beautiful and I love it. And that's why it's my number one.
Yeah. And they even made cookie jars of it as well.
She's angling for a cookie jar here, people. Have you spotted it? Maybe they could do a cookie jar with LEDs all over it, like a special edition that lights up and plays music.
But yeah, I love the whole animatronics in there, because I mean, they've been there for years, haven't they? Some of them. I know they did update it and it's been updated with different things.
That fella who's sleeping, the monk.
Yeah.
When I see that, that's my nostalgic moment. Like, I don't know if am I being a weirdo now?
No, because I think that as well with the boy, but they've changed it.
The paper boy.
Extra.
Yes, he used to be stood at the front facing.
Yeah.
Then apparently his face fell off, the animatronic. So they turned it around.
Oh, is that what? I never knew
and
the
they moved
reason
it
why.
to the back. Apparently, I haven't had that confirmed, but the animatronic of the little boy, the paper boy, who was shouting on the ride, extra, read all about it, used to be at the front facing you, the passengers. And I believe some part of the animatronic's face fell off. And so rather than spend the money to repair it, and I could be talking right out my bottom here because I've not had it, I don't have it confirmed. So what they did was they turned him around and they moved him so he's like shouting off the opposite street corner, which doesn't affect the ride in any way, shape or form. But yeah, I know what you mean. But for me, the bit that kind of like, it's a bit like when you used to go on Splash Mountain. There was a bit on Splash Mountain when you just used to, right towards the kind of quite early on in the ride, and you used to kind of go for a bit of a gentle bob round. And the little birds would be singing in the treehouse, the How Do You Do song.
How do you do?
That was the part, when I went on that ride and I got to that part, I knew I was on holiday. Like, it always felt like holidays to me. And the part on Spaceship Earth where I see the monk sleeping, for some reason, that's the part.
I like the bit as well when you've got, it's Michelangelo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Painting.
Oh yeah, doing the Sistine Chapel roof.
Yeah, and I just think it's amazing. I think
the music's epic on it as well.
And when you get to the top and you can see the Earth, you're in space, and it's just so futuristic, isn't it? And I love
really
there's certain bits of it that they changed, didn't they? And I'm a bit.
We've said this on previous podcasts, but it has been through a few different iterations. And again, there's a theme here. It was due to get a massive overhaul, like whole new ride track, everything. They were going to gut it and start again with a brand new Spaceship Earth. And then
what, like different animatronics?
The whole
and
deal.
Oh,
the
right,
whole
okay.
deal was going to get redone. And then the guy, once again, we're not going to mention him again in this podcast, but he came along and he put the kibosh on everything.
So is he just like just trying to spoil everything for everyone, everyone's fun?
Well, the thing is, without getting too kind of bogged down in it all, he was a money man. So what he did was he stopped all of the spending right away and put all the prices up on everything, which made them money in the short term. But I think
they just lost loads.
I think they're hurting from it now. The parks still do really well, by the way. I know a lot of people think that, Disney World's kind of on its arse and there's nobody going anymore. That's not true. The parks still do quite well. It's Disney Plus that's killing them. They're just pilling billions out of Disney Plus, and the parks are actually subsidising that part of the business, which is why there's talking about. Sorry, we've gone off at a tangent here, but it's why they're talking about selling that side of the business to Apple.
Right. Okay. Well, I think whatever they're going to do to SpaceShip Earth, it's still going to be probably my favourite because
Probably nothing for another 10 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't really care because I like it.
I like it the way it is. I like it the way it is. I was sad when they were going to rip it all out, but
I mean, I guess
But I'm always sad when they say they're going to get rid of a classic, and then I like what goes in its place.
Watching it when I was on it years ago, and like you'd see things like talking to someone over like a video call, and you think it was so futuristic, and now we're doing that every day, aren't we? And
oh yeah.
It's just amazing how things.
I mean, that's the whole point of it all, though, isn't it? It's like as it says, on the People Mover, progress never stops moving, does it? It's like it's always.
But they've reused some of the animatronics as well, because where they're looking at the moon landing, the boy, he was doing something else in the last one. Yeah, they've moved some of the animatronics they've reused, but they're still good. It's just it's number one,
and that's why it's our number one at Epcot.
Yeah, and it's a mutual decision, that one. So
we agree on something.
Yeah, and I think we've come up with quite a few different things there as well, which is good. Even though I just want to completely change my list now, but anyway.
Well, you can't.